Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. My name's Joe. In this video, we will be looking at the game Red, White, and Blue Racin', and this is hopefully the first of a long-running series using this game, which is from Play Classic, or Play Games, really, in general. Designed by Keith Avalone, and this game's been around a while, and I've had it since, I think, about 2012 or 13. And for this series, we'll be using a fictional set. So Play Games does a fictional set for most of its games. In fact, I'm not really aware of any that it doesn't do it for. And they have games covering a wide variety of sports. And so this obviously is the stock car racing one. And the fictional organization in this is called SCRAM, which stands for Stock Car Racing America. And Keith created a retro set based on the 1960 season. So this would be early days. Real life NASCAR was only a little over a decade old at this point in time. So it's a little bit more pioneer style, a little bit less polished, a little bit less corporate than it is these days. And so we're going to kind of go back to that time and play with fictional drivers and see how things shake out. I think this should be pretty fun and interesting, and hopefully generate us some nice storylines. That is one of the great things about the Play Games line of games, is they are based on qualities rather than simply numbers. The qualities are backed by numbers, but it's not right in your face that so-and-so has this batting average or this many yards per catch or whatever it may be. They have qualities that kind of reflect that information. So in this case, we have driver cards, and there are a whole bunch of them. And so this is one of the driver cards here. So if you're not familiar with the game, these are randomly shuffled, and we ended up with Ross Pettis on top, which is kind of interesting because I believe he's one of the better drivers. Looking at his card, he's one of the better drivers. So the game has a couple of, well, it has one phase that starts off the whole thing, and that's the race week. So the race week handles kind of the lead up into the race itself based on qualifying, and sets up some storylines, who's on quote unquote TV, which is modeled a little bit differently for these retro seasons. There's also a real life Pioneers card set with real drivers from like the 40s and 50s, the early days of NASCAR. So you have the race week leading up to the race on the weekend, of course. So the way this works, and I'll read it right out of the book, it says every race has to have a qualifying event, right? Rather than roll dice for 50 to 60 drivers, Red, White, and Blue Racin's race week uses a system that quickly approximates each driver's race week results by shuffling the driver cards and dealing each randomly into one of four categories. You'll have featured TV drivers, who are considered to have done or said something that got them on TV during race week, resulting in much buzz. Note that this could be something good or something not so good. All featured TV drivers, regardless of what happens, good or bad, make the TV list. Drivers who make it on the TV list will get an elevated profile during the race. That is, they'll have more chances to advance in the field and will get certain advantages for being featured on TV. Then you have fast week drivers, who are considered to have very good qualifying weeks. And you have slow week drivers, who are considered to have very poor qualifying weeks. And then uneventful week drivers will be the balance. And so the way this works out is we have our race board here. This is the mat. It's very nice. This is it's a mat as opposed to like a card. And it costs extra, but it's, in my opinion, well worth it. So there are spots for all the 43 cars that are in the race, from the guy who's sitting in the lead all the way down to the unlucky guy sitting in 43rd place. So we chose our track card for our very first race of the season. It is the Heart O' Carolina Speedway in North Carolina. It's an intermediate track. It's a 300-mile race. Each turn in the game is 10 miles, so this is a 30-turn race, or a 30-turn game if you want to look at it that way. So we create our TV list by rolling the 2 metallic dice. So this game comes with 6 dice. You get a black and 2 metallic, and then, as you might guess from the name of the game, a red, white, and blue as well. So we're going to use the 2 metallic dice for this die roll. And we get a 5. So that means you take the top 5 drivers off the pile, and those are your TV week drivers. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a nice mix here of good, bad, and indifferent. Here we have 2 with gold trophies, 1 silver, 1 bronze, and 1 with no trophy at all. Poor Dino Petrucci. He does get on TV, which is good for him. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll for Ross Pettis. He's the first of our TV drivers. We roll our red, white, and blue dice. Now the red is the first digit and the white is the second digit, and you use the blue for placement if needed. So we rolled a 12, and so you look at the TV results, and the 12 is incident, forced spin out, fender rub, etc. with next TV driver, so that would be Ferris Dixon, during practice, both drivers placement C and feud. Okay, so then we look at placement C. Trophy driver gains blue die position in middle group. Non-trophy driver placed at top of bubble step. They both have trophies. They both get placement C. So we'll put Ross Pettis. He rolled a 1. So I believe that would be this one here. Now we have to swap these out for their gold cards, and I'll do that in a moment. They have special gold colored cards, these cards, that denote that they're TV drivers, and I'll put those out here in a bit. So now let me roll the blue again for Dixon, and he also rolled 1. All right, so they're side by side here. Now we just do the same thing for Petrucci, and he's got a 13 and a 6. So a 13 is Rex during qualifying, placement D. So placement D, trophy driver placed in bubble stack, non-trophy fails to qualify, so he's going to fail to qualify. Now we'll do Kenny Worthington. And 6 is across the board, so a 66 is going to be an event. So you have TV event X. All right. So we're going to roll here, and we get a 63, and a 63 is turmoil within crew, placement D. All right, so the 6 in placement D would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we do Bruce Hodnett. And we get a 54 and a 5. So 54 on our TV results is positive fan interaction during race week, placement C. And you can see placement C, trophy driver gains blue die position in middle group, non-trophy placed at top of bubble stack. He does have a trophy, so he goes to the blue die position, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's here. All right, so now I'm going to replace these guys with their gold cards, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so we've swapped out our regular cards for our yellow cards. So now we do drivers who have had fast qualifying weeks. We roll our 2 metallic dice, then randomly select that many drivers. So we got 4. Whoops, that was a 1 and a 3. Gord McGreevy in the 78 Chevy. Marv Forsberg in the number 4 Ford, and Fuzzy Peters in the number 11 Chevy, I think that says. Yep, Chevy. All right. Okay, so once we do that, we place the drivers based on the following guidelines. So gold goes to the pole or the highest position in top group. Silver would go to the highest position in top group, and bronze in the highest in the middle group. No trophies goes to the bottom group. So McGreevy has a trophy. It is bronze. So that's going to go to the first available position in the middle group, which is 10th. Forsberg is going to go to the first available position in the bottom group, and Fuzzy Peters is going to go there because he's also bronze. Now we do the slow week, so we roll our 2 dice again. And we get a 7, and then we select 7 drivers for the slow week, and then we place them in. So gold goes next position in bottom. Silver goes in the bubble stack, so we'll start the bubble stack there. Silver bubble stack, that's 2. Bridges Baker is a bronze, that goes bubble stack 3. Another bronze, 4, bubble stack. Here's a gold. Tommy Stoffel goes to the next position in the bottom group, which is here. That's 5. 2 more. Herm Henderson, he's got no trophies. He fails to qualify. And then we get Norm Gundy, who has a gold, so he'll go right here. All right, so now the remaining drivers are considered to have had uneventful qualifying weeks. Check the trophy symbols of remaining drivers, each of whom is considered to have had an uneventful week. Again, no die roll is necessary. Simply place drivers based on the following guidelines. Gold, highest position in the top group. Bronze goes in the bottom group. Gold, so Porter Lily's actually going to get the pole position. Then we have somebody with none, so they go to the bubble stack. Bronze goes to bottom group. Gold goes to top group. Silver goes to middle group. Tommy Stoffel in the 99, all the way down in 38th position. Now you get to the bubble stack. So these drivers will go into the bottom group, and they start at you start here and you start at the back. So you go like this. And that completes our qualifying. So none of these guys qualified. All right, so that ends that. And now we go on to the race itself. Okay, so the race is beginning. We use the race cam. Each turn has 2 phases, basically a race cam phase and an action phase where you kind of resolve what goes on. So the race cam, you use the black die and the 2 metallic die. We'll roll this, whoops. And the black die is a 5, and the 2 metallic dies add up to 8. So we know the 8 is going to be a control because you use the card for the track. But the 5 is what indicates what area of the field is impacted. So 1 and 2 is top, 3 and 4 is the middle, and 5 is the bottom, and 6 would be a duel. And we'll talk about duels because I'm sure we'll get one at one point. And so now here on the track, you can see 1 and 2 is top, 3 and 4 is middle, 5 is bottom, 6 is a duel. Then our race cam results, we add the 2 metallic dice together. 8 is control. So that counts as a quality challenge result. And so this is the nuts and bolts of the game, as it says in the book. And this is what I mentioned at the beginning. The game is based on qualities and whether the drivers have these qualities or not. Okay, so resolving quality challenge results. We use the red, white, and blue dice. So this is where the cars bang it out on the track, battling against each other for track position. Quality results can involve many cars, few cars, or no cars, depending on the group and the quality indicated by the race cam. We know it's the bottom group. Trailing drivers challenge first, leading drivers challenge last. So for each driver with the indicated quality in the indicated group, we roll the red, white, and blue dice. So we're looking for control. So Forsberg does not have it. Tommy Stoffel does. So you roll the dice. Okay, so we start at the last. So that's Steve Lewis. Okay, so the red die is compared to the driver's gas pedal rating, which are the squares. So if we look at Steve Lewis here, you can see he's got 3 squares, so he has a 3 gas pedal rating. And it's a 5, okay? So if it's equal to or less than the driver's rating, he's got enough gas to make the move, so he fails. Okay, so we just re-roll because we know that the challenge failed. Now we get another 5, and the next guy with the control skill is Carl Royal. He's got a 3, so that one also fails. Now we go to Rentschler. Rentschler rolls a 6, so that fails as well. Now we go to Tommy Stoffel, who's actually got a 5. And he rolls a 2. So his challenge is we're going to move on to the second step. So the blue die represents the challenged driver's ability to respond. We use the white die to determine which driver in the middle group is being challenged. So he's trying to make a big move from here up into the middle group. And because he rolled a 1, that's this right here, because you can see the 1 die, the 1 on the die face here. So now you look at the red die to determine odd even. And if it's even, it is the 1 on the right of the box. So Ross Pettis. So he's challenging Pettis here. So the blue die represents the challenged driver's ability to respond as compared to the challenged driver's brake pedal rating, which is the burst symbols. He's got 2. If equal to or less than the driver's rating, he fends off the challenge regardless of the red die result. So it's actually a 5, so that's higher. So that means he's not going to fend it off. But the brake pedal rating can be modified or boosted by the following factors. If the defending driver has the indicated quality that triggered the challenge, he gets a bonus brake symbol. He does have control, and it is starred. So he gets 2 bonus brake symbols, which gives him 4. He's in the middle group, not the top group, and he's not the leader. So he actually fails the challenge anyway, but that was really close. So they swap positions. So Rentschler moves all the way up to 8th. And again, each of these turns represents 10 miles of race. So now we move on to the next one, which would be Stoffel. And again, we read the red, which is a 1. So that's under 5, so that's a challenge. We look at 6 in the middle group, which is here. And again, the red is odd, so it's this guy, Boyce Daly. He has no brake pedals, so that's going to be a successful challenge. Even though he had a control, the blue die is a 5, so he wasn't going to beat that. So now we move over to Jerry Eccles, and he's got a 1, so that's going to work because he does have 4. Now the white is a 5, so we're looking here, and the red, so it's Dave Wedge, who also has no brake pedals. He does have control, so that would give him 1, but too late. So he goes back. They swap positions. So now we go to Aaron Burke. And he also is going to be successful because he's got 4. But we're looking at 3, which is these 2 right here. And both of these guys have brake pedals. And it is odd, so it's Macaluso who has 2, so that challenge fails. So we go to Griffin Smith. He rolls a 5. He only has 4 gas pedals, so he's out. Burl Exum. He's got a star, which means he can actually challenge twice. Now he rolls a 6 on his first one, so that one's going to fail, but he gets to challenge twice, so we'll go again. And he rolls a 6 again, so that fails as well. Rocket Felder. He rolls a 6 as well. Larry Hilburn rolls a 4, and he's got a 4, so that one works. And we rolled a 2, 3 on the white, so it's here, and a 2 on the blue. And the roll was even, so it's here. And he does not have control, so this is going to be a successful challenge there. So now we come over here, Lindsay Talby. 1, a 6, and a 5. So 6 is here. The blue is odd, so it's Stoffel, who just moved up. And because it's a 5 and he's got 2, plus 1 for that is 3, he still loses the challenge. So Talby is going to move up to here. And Stoffel's there. And we roll again. And we got a 1, a 5, and another 1. So we're looking at Wilsey Whiteman, who's got 3, so that's going to pass. It's 5, so it's this group. It's odd, so it's Eccles. Eccles has no brake pedals, but he does have 1 from control, so that challenge actually fails. So now we move to Vern Burr, 4, and he's only got 3 gas pedals, so that fails. Galgano has 4. He's got 4, so that's going to be a good one. 5, it's going to be Eccles again. It's a 3. He's only got 1, so Eccles gets replaced by Galgano, like so. Balerjian. So he rolled a 6, so that's going to fail. Now we go to the last row. We got Godfrey Sell, who has 4 gas pedals, so that's good. It's group 5. It's even, so it's Lonnie Lane. Lonnie Lane has 1 brake pedal, but that's not, even with his bonus for control, that's not going to get him there. So that is successful, and Godfrey Sell moves up. And again, and Norm Gundy has control. He's got 5 gas pedals, so that's good. It's 1. It's odd, so it's Rentschler. And that's there's no chance for Rentschler here, so he's going to get bumped out. And Gundy moves up. Now we've got Stoffel left, the last one. He rolls a 1, a 6, and a 1. So that's good. The 6 is this group. It's odd, so it's Talby, and he does have the thing, so it fails. He has control. He has the quality, so the challenge fails. So that's the end of one turn. Okay, on to turn 2. We do the same thing. We roll our 3 dice. We get a 4, so that's the middle group. And our total number here is 5, which is smart. Okay, so we're looking for smart, and we start at the back. So no, and we get Russ Hartzell. So Russ Hartzell is our first challenger, and he's challenging to go up into the top group, which gets a break bonus. So every one of these guys has 1 break, but they get a second break for being in the top group. So we're looking at Russ Hartzell here, and we're on the smart quality. So he rolls a 4, and he's a 3. So that does not work out for him. Galgano is smart, and he gets a 1, 2, 5. So the 1 is good. 2 would be Branch Montana, and 5, and he's only got 2 brake pedals, so that challenge actually works. And Galgano jumps up to the 3 spot. Now we go to Willie Macaluso, who does have a starred smart, which means he can do this twice. He does have 3, so this challenge is going to work. It's 6, so that's Eldon Briscoe, and it's 2 brake pedals, so it's going to fail. So he gets to try again because of the star. And this time he gets a 3, 1, a 3, 5, 1. So now he's challenging Cook. And again, the blue isn't working out for him, so he gets denied. So now we go to Larry Hilburn. He gets a 2, 4, 2, 5, 6. So 2 is good, 5 is Cook, and the 6 is going to work out for him. So he started in the back in the bottom group, and he's moved all the way up to 6th. And we go to Fuzzy Peters. He's a 4, so that's good. 5 and 2, so that actually does not work out for him. And that's it. That's the end of that one. So we are now on turn 3. So we roll our dice again. 6, which is a duel, and then you have a 3 and a 5. So this will be our first duel. Okay, so we look at the 2 here. It's an 8, a 3, and a 5. That will give us our duel instigator. And an 8 is the number 6 cars in the middle group. So that's these 2 guys right here. The drivers will then have a chance to duel with any driver within the same group with the opportunity to gain position within the group and a performance chip, which we haven't seen yet. The game has a built-in advantage for drivers who are higher up in the top and middle groups. However, duels are considered to be riskier than challenges, and on a duel result, someone's always going to have the potential for trouble. The driver who instigates the duel gets the advantage. The target driver is considered to be defenseless. Trapped in a track position where he can't respond, also included under the duel result category, are feud and fume results where driver emotions boil over and mayhem ensues. Okay, so they're both going to run a duel here, and it's going to be Lindsay Talby goes first. Now, they can decline to do this, so this would be kind of a decision thing to see if they think they can do it. So the way duels work, okay, so this is pretty simple. So we roll the red die against his gas pedals. So the roll has to be equal to or less than his gas pedals to be successful, and he can pick, well, he has to pick ahead of time who he's challenging. And because, as I already read, they're kind of defenseless in this. They can't fight back, basically. So since we're 19th, let's go for Norm Gundy. Why not? Let's roll big here. Let's go big. So we need to roll less than a 4. And we rolled a 3. So it actually worked. So these guys swap. And now Gundy gets a trouble result. So each driver has an escape rating, and his is 7. So you roll the metallic dice. So we roll the metallic dice. If they're less than the escape number, which is a 7, equal to or less than 7, he gets out of it. So he gets out of it and avoids trouble. Okay, so we do the same thing with Russ Hartzell. Now he's got a 3. So honestly, I'm going to pass on the duel for him. So we're going to pass on the duel for him, and we're just going to move on to turn number 4. All right, so turn number 4, we roll our black and metallics. We get a 3, which is the middle group again, and a 5, which is smart again. All right, so starting at the bottom, we've got Hartzell again. So we're going to roll for Hartzell here. Again, he's got a 3 gas pedal rating, and he rolled a 4, so no good for him. Now we'll do Branch Montana. He got a 4, but he's got 4 gas pedals, so that's good. The white is a 5, so he's looking at Larry Hilburn, and it's 5 brake pedals, and so that is not going to work for Hilburn, so they swap spots. Now we move to Macaluso again. He rolls a 3. He's got 4, so that's good. It is a 1, which is Jimmy Bowker, and it's 3, so these two are going to swap spots. So Macaluso goes up as well. And now we roll for Fuzzy Peters. He gets a 1, 5, 4. So 5 is Branch Montana. 4 brake pedals, so these guys are going to swap out. And we roll again. And 6. Actually, that roll is superfluous because we were done. So that's the end of turn 4. And you can see when you get something that's in these groups and not that group, and is not a real common quality, the turns can kind of go pretty quick. Whoops, that's not the right dice. That is incorrect. Whoa, 3 6s. 3 6s. Well, it's a duel and it's 12. That's going to be the number 2 cars in the middle group. So that's these two guys right here, Montana and McGreevy. So again, we're going to do duels, and again, they're going to challenge. So we start with Montana. He's got 4 brake pedals. He's going to challenge Talby for the lead spot here, and he rolls a 1, so that works. Now we roll. Talby's escape is an 8. He rolls a 3, so he escapes trouble. McGreevy, he's going to try to take out Montana. Why not? Let's go for it. He needs a 3 or less. Whoops. And he gets it. Look at that. All right. Now, Montana has to roll. He rolls a 7. His escape is an 8, so he's good. And that ends turn 5. And yes, we will be coming up on a pit stop pretty soon. So we have a 4 and a 9. So the 4 is the middle group. 9 is reflex. So we see Norm Gundy has a reflex star. Springer has it. Bowker has it. Cook has it. Talby has it. Montana has it. And McGreevy has it. So lots of opportunities for these guys to move into the top group. So we will start with Gundy, who can do it twice. He gets a 3. So that's good. And then 5 and 5. So we're looking at Fuzzy Peters with 5 brake pedals. That is not going to work out there. And you know what? I forgot to hand out the performance chips. Like an idiot. So I'm going to do that. I'll do that next time. I totally forgot about the performance chip, so I apologize. Let's see. We're moving to Rowley Springer. He rolls a 5, and he does have 5 gas pedals, and then a 6 and a 3. So it's here and 3, so that is going to work out. And Springer moves up to the 7 spot. And now we roll again. And that's not going to work out for Jimmy Bowker, even though he has 5 gas pedals. He rolled a 6. We go to Joe Cook. He gets a 5. He only has a 4, so that does not work for him either. Talby gets a 3, so that's good. We're looking at spot 5, Gundy, and 4 brake pedals. I think he's good here because he gets 2 for this, 1 for that, plus his 1 is a 4, so that challenge actually is fended off. Now we go to Montana. He gets a 166, so he's looking at Springer, and that's going to work out for him. And we go to McGreevy, the last one. He gets a 222. So when we roll triples, we disregard the challenge and instead roll for a problem for the challenging driver on the problem finder chart. So here is our problem finder chart right here. So we're going to roll. We'll roll our metallic dice. And we get a 10. Or 5-5 rather, sorry. Odd problem. Pit crew A or B, problem does not occur. So we're going to look at odd problem. We roll again. And we get a 5. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need to roll these. We'll keep the 55, but I should be rolling these so I have different colors. So we get a 34 on the odd problem. Lost power, ignition box to end of bottom group. All right, so that means everybody's going to move up 1. Okay. That's the end of turn 6. All right, so turn 7 is a pit stop turn. All right. So we roll these dice again. All right, so we get 2 on the metallic and 2, well, 1, 1, and 2. So the metallic dice will be used to swap drivers in the top and middle groups or indicate a driver flagged for a pit violation. The black die will determine which group of drivers gets the opportunity to gain advantage through the expertise of their pit crews by making a fast pit. Yeah, if you roll doubles, no drivers switch positions, and instead the drivers in that numbered box are considered to have committed a pit violation and must move to the end of the bottom group. Use the black die result for fast pit to determine which groups had drivers commit pit violations. So 2 is the top group. So just Macaluso goes to the bottom, I guess, for pit violations. That's still really a rough thing here. Okay, so I've reordered everything, and now we're going to check for fast pit. So the way fast pit works is we know the black die was a 2, so we're looking at the top group and the leader. And they all have, as you can see here on our race leader, Porter Lily's card, a fast pit rating of, in his case, it's a 6. So you roll your metallic dice, and if it's equal or lower than his fast pit rating, he gets a performance chip. He rolled an 11, so that's not going to do it. So now we'll go to Galgano, who's got a 4, which also is not going to work. Burl Exum with his 8. He's got 1. So the performance chip, I will keep wanting to say chip, but it's a chip, comes out, and he gets 1. And we'll talk about what this does here in a bit. Now we'll do Hal Thomas, who has a 7. He rolls a 10, so no. Gundy has a 6 with a star, which would be a fast pit of 10 in the last third of the race, which we are not. He gets a 10 as well, so no. Branch Montana gets 1 because his fast pit's an 8, and he rolls a 4. And Ferris Dixon is our last chance. He rolls a 7, and his fast pit is a 6, so he does not. So now what do these do? Performance chips. So you move up, basically. So Exum is going to move up to second. And actually, no, I think he does, well, I think he actually goes because they're considered to be in the same group. He moves to the lead. And then everybody else, so Montana would move here, and everybody else moves down. So Gundy would go here, Thomas would go here, and he would go there, I think. Yeah, because he was here. And Lily was the race leader. So, okay, so now you roll, as they're coming out of the pit, you roll the black die again to determine which one of these guys gets to challenge the leader and it's 1, so that's Branch Montana. Now he rolls against his gas pedal, so if it's a 4 or less, he successfully beats Burl Exum, but he can use his performance chip to keep his spot if he wants, and he rolled a 1, which would, so we'll have Exum spend his chip to keep himself in first. All right, and so now we move on to number 8. And we get a 2 and a 3. So 2 is top group and 3 is control. So again, we have control. Everybody but Branch Montana has it. Burl Exum does not have it. He does get a 2 break bonus though, so his break rating is a 3. All right, so we'll start with Ferris Dixon. He gets a 1. So the 6, the white 6, we ignore because there's only 1 car in the leader spot, and the break is a 5. And even with his break bonuses, he doesn't have the skill, so he actually gets bumped. And Dixon takes the lead for the moment. This could also change. Now we'll check Gundy. He rolls a 6, so he does not have enough gas pedals to get there. Hal Thomas rolls a 1 and a 3. So even with his 2 break bonus, that's not enough. So as I said, Ferris Dixon, time at the top might be short. Now we got Galgano. Nope. And now Porter Lily. 1 and 5. So Porter Lily is going to end up back in first place. So Exum took led for 1 lap, and on lap 8, Lily regained the lead. And so that was turn 8. Now we go to 9. 3 and 6. So 3 is the middle group, and 6 is problem. We have to roll our red, white, and blue. And we read the red and the white. So red gives us a 24. So in the middle group on the driver finder, a 24 is driver 2 even. So that would be these 2 even is this guy. So it's Joe Cook. And then we roll to see what the problem is. And that's a 62. And a 62 is clutch problem, roll for repair. So his pit crew grade is a D. It's inside the trophy. So here's D. We are in the middle third. Okay, so we roll the metallic dice. We got a 7. Now in the middle third, the trouble rating is a 3. And we rolled a 7, which is higher. So Cook is actually out of the race. Okay, now we move on to turn number 10. So we roll again. And we get a 6, which is duel again, and a 5 and a 3. So that's an 8. So we get the 6 cars in the middle group, which are, again, our 2 guys here at the back of the middle group, which is now Rentschler and Stoffel. So again, they get to decide if they want to challenge. Rentschler will pass with his 3, but Stoffel has a 5, so he's definitely going to do it, and he's going to go after Springer. So he rolls a 4, which works. Now we check Springer, who has an escape rating of 10, and he successfully avoids trouble. Not a surprise. It's the end of 10. We move on to 11. And we get 1 and 7. So 1, of course, is our top group, and a 7 is skill. So we have 1, 2, 3 drivers with that, as well as our race leader, Porter Lily. So we'll start with Burl Exum. And we get a 6 and a 1, so that's not going to work for him. I'm not even going to roll the white because we don't need it. Then we get a 4, which works for Hal Thomas, and a 2 brake pedal, which is what he has because he's the leader, so that does not work. And now Branch Montana gets a 6 and a 4. Now you can use your performance chip, I believe, to re-roll. To win a challenge or duel, a driver can use a performance chip to win a challenge or duel. So because he failed it, we're gonna spend our chip, and we're gonna put him in the lead because, of course, he would, use it to take the lead. Why wouldn't you? So Branch Montana takes the lead here in turn 11. And we move on to turn number 12. And we get a 2, which again is the top group, and an 8, which is control. So now we're looking for control. Gundy, Dixon, Galgano, Thomas, and Lilly all have control. A 4 for Gundy is successful, and 4 brake pedals means that they get swapped. Now Dixon, he's got 4, so that's a no. Galgano gets a 2 and a 6, so Galgano is going to take the lead, at least momentarily. And a 4 and a 3, so 4 and 3. So Thomas now takes the lead. And now Porter Lilly to see if he can regain the lead. And he gets a 4 and a 6, so he cannot. He cannot. So Hal Thomas, Branch Montana's lead was short-lived. In 12, Hal Thomas takes the lead. All right. So you see that we're moving along here. And we get a 4 and a 9. So 4 is the middle group, and a 9 is reflex. So we're looking for reflex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 drivers have it. So we'll start with Rowley Springer back here. And we get a 3 and a 3. So he's looking at Norm Gundy, and a 6. So that will work. And we check Forsberg. And a 4, no. Peters, a 3, 2, and a 6. So that worked. Logan Briscoe, who gets a 4, 4, 6. So they're going to swap places. Alker, 2, 6, 1. So that's going to fail. And Talby, 2, 1, 3. So Porter Lilly has dropped to 9th. Oops. And Stoffel gets a 1, 1, 6. So Stoffel actually jumps all the way up to 2nd. And that ends turn 13. All right, we are on to turn 14. Nearly halfway through the race. 3, so that will be the middle group. And a 6 is problem. So problems occur a little bit more often here in this early era of racing. So the first thing we have to do is roll for our group here. And we get a 22. I should have rolled blue, red, and white, but it's driver 2 even again in the middle group. So that's these 2 guys, and even is Bowker. So his escape is a 10, so that's pretty solid. But we have to roll for the problem first. And it's a 36. And a 36 is vibration drop to front of bottom group with an asterisk. Driver already in bottom group to move to end of group, not front. Okay. All right, so Bowker's going to move down to this spot, and everybody else is going to slide down after him. All right, and that's that. We move on to turn 15. We get a 5, which is the bottom group, and a 6. And a 6 is, again, a problem. All right, so let's roll and find out who has the problem. 14. So 14 in the bottom group is driver 2, Mel Roach. Now let's see what the problem is. It's a 31. And a 31 is handling problem, roll for repair. Okay, so we are in the middle of the race still. Roach's pit crew is an E, which isn't particularly good. So he needs to roll 5 or lower. And he rolls an 11. So that fails. So on to turn 16. 4 is middle group and 7 skill. That's it. All right, so plenty of skill available. Now there was a thing here with this yellow triangle. So these are guys that have problems more often than others, and there's also a blue. So on the yellow, when I roll the 3 dice, and here's a blue one. When I roll the dice, if the blue die is a 5 or 6 and it's a blue triangle, they have a problem. If it's a 6 on a yellow triangle, they would have a problem. So we are looking at skill, and the first one with skill is Forsberg. And he has a 6, 4, 4, so that's nothing. And we have Hartzell, 4, 3, 6. So again, that's nothing. Hilburn, 5, 2, 1, also nothing. Sell, 3, 2, 2. So here we go. So he's got that. 2 is Fuzzy Peters, and a 2 break. He has none, but he gets 1 for that, but that's still not enough, so he's bumped. And we go to Pepper Stockton. He rolls a 2, 1, 3. So the 2 is good, 1 is Stoffel, and a 3 brake pedal is not good enough to fend him off. Actually, it is. So he does fend him off. So let's check Porter Lilly. He's the last one. This is a chance to get back in the top, and he can't do it. Even though he has five gas pedals, he cannot get there. So that is the end of turn 16. We go to our second pit turn. So we'll go again. Okay, the metallic dice determine the pit reordering and tells you which drivers switch positions. So we have 1 and 4. 1 and 4. I had it right the first time. And then 1 and 4. So they swap around like so. Then the black die tells us which group is the fast group, and it's 2, so that's the top group. And then we roll the fast pit, so we'll start with Burl Exum. He gets a 3, so that is a fast pit, so he gets a chip. And we do Montana, he gets a 6, that's a chip. Stoffel with a 3, gets a chip. Springer gets a chip. Sell gets a chip. Briscoe gets a chip. Everybody gets a chip. Except Hal Thomas, the race leader. He does not get a chip. All right, so based on that, the reordering, Briscoe's going to go into the lead. And Thomas is actually going to end up at the back of the top group here. So he's going to end up there. And now we roll to see which driver. 6, Hal Thomas gets to challenge Briscoe. So he rolls the red dice, and he needs a 4 or less. And he gets a 5, so he fails. And he does not have a performance chip, so he couldn't even get around it. So Briscoe takes over in lap 17. That is our 5th lead change. And we go to turn 18. And we get a 2 and a 4. So 2 is the top group and a 4 is star. All right, so Exum's a star, Montana's a star, Stoffel's a star, Springer's a star, and Cell is a star. All right. So we'll start with Exum. A 6. Okay, so we have to, since both drivers have a chip, we're going to roll. And it's an odd. And so both drivers spend their chip and there's no change, of course. And so now we go to Montana, who succeeds, but he rolls a 2-2-2. So we roll again on the problem finder chart. So we're rolling on the problem finder chart for Montana. And it's a, whoops, it is a 24. So a 24 is tire rub, drop to front of bottom group. Oof, that's rough. And we get a 4 and an 8. So 4 is middle group and 8 is control. We'll start with Mr. Bowker here. And we get a 2-2-2 again, which means he has a problem roll to make as well. And he gets a 43, and a 43 is overheating, roll for repair. If his pit crew is A or B, the problem does not occur. His pit crew is a D. So we are in, let's see, turn 19. We are in the middle third still. Yeah, we're still in the middle third. His pit crew rating is a D. So his trouble needs to be a less than a 6. And it is not. So Bowker goes out of the race as well. Turn 20. 4 and 6. So 4 is the middle and 6 is a problem. Okay, so we first roll to find out who in the middle group has the problem. And we get a 25, and a 25 is driver 2 odd. So that would be Fuzzy Peters. And Fuzzy's issue is a 46, which is smacks wall internal damage, roll for repair. Okay, so this is the last turn of the middle third. Fuzzy's pit crew's in E, so that's bad. He needs to roll less than a 5. And he rolls a 7, so Fuzzy goes out as well. They're dropping like flies, which is actually kind of realistic for this era, and that's why they have problems on the cards here. Last third of the race, turn 21. 5, bottom group, and 6, problem. Lots of problems. 33. 33 in the bottom group is driver 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rocket Felder. Rocket Felder's crew is a D. We are now in the final third. And a 26 is electrical problem, roll for repair. Okay, so he is, as I said, a D. Final third needs a 4. Oh, problem dash. I think that means he's just out. So, sorry, Rocket. 2 and 7. So 2 is top group, 7 is skill. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only one who doesn't have it is Springer. All right, we don't need the white. So 3 and 5 means he gets to jump up. Now Thomas, 6 and 5, nope. Exum, 3 and 2, and he has the blue, but that's only a 2. So 3 is good. 2, however, is not. Now we have Tommy Stoffel, 3 and 1. He's going to spend his chip to win his challenge, so he's going to jump into the top spot, at least temporarily. And Springer, a 1 and a 5. So that actually lets him keep his chip and jump to the top spot. and a 6-5. So here we go again with these two. So we roll one die. It's even, so no change, and they both keep their chips. So a 5, which is the back group, and a 4, which is star. So star is in the back group. Macaluso is 1. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually not too bad. All right, so we start with Macaluso in the very last spot. He's got a 3, which is good. He's got a 2, which is here. And the blue is even, so it's Pepper Stockton, and it's a 4. So Macaluso gets to jump up. Now we go to Carl Royal. 4, nope, okay. Ross Pettis, this is his shot, 1, 6, 6. So here's 6. Even though would be Montana. Montana has a chip. He'll spend it to keep his spot. So that fails Pettis. We move to Exum. 1, 6, 2. So again, it's Montana. This time, yeah, that's not good because he has star and he has a brake pedal. So we go to Eccles. 2. So that's good. 1 and 2. So it's Galgano, but 2 brake pedals. Yeah, that's still going to get it done. So Eccles is going to jump up to the 8th spot. And Belergen here has a 3, which is good, a 6, and a 5. So he's challenging Worthington, who has 2 brake pedals, but the blue is a 5. He does not have any triangles, so that's just a 1-spot swap, but he does get into the middle group. And that is the end of turn 23. So now we go to 24. We get a 5 and a 3. So 5 is a bottom group again, and again it is control. So we'll start with Pepper Stockton there in the back. A 2, 6, 6. So he's looking at Montana, and he's going to actually pull this off. So Montana drops all the way to the last spot here. Now McGreely gets a 4, so that's no good. Steve Lewis gets a 6, no good. Peachy does not have control. Baker, no. Carl Royal, nope, he has only 3. Ross Pettis has starred control, so he can roll twice, and will. And he gets a 2, 6, 1. So we're looking at Belgeron, but it's a 1. He has 1 brake pedal, no good. Boyd Staley, 3, 6, 4. 3 is good. And so he swaps out with Stockton. Dave Wedge, no. Aaron Burke, no. Michael Smith, no. Burl Exum, yes. 3, 4, and 1. So it's looking at Gundy. He's got 1, which is good enough to hold him off. Stoffel, 4, 6. So we're looking at Daly. It's a 4. That's going to work for Stoffel. Stoffel moves up. And we've got Whiteman. 6 is no. Vermeer, 4, no. Last one is Galgano. And he's got a 3, 5, 5. So we're looking at Lonnie Lane. And that is going to move Galgano back up. Car 100. So that is the end of turn 24. And we move on to 25. And we get a 5 again and a 4 again. So we're looking at star in the back, which means that we start with Montana. And And he gets a 6, which is no good. McGreevy, Peachy is our next star. 5, 2, 2. So we're looking at Hilburn. No, sorry, Macaluso, and this is going to actually work. Oh, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. Macaluso has 2 breaks. 2 breaks. Okay. Carl Royal. 3, 2, 6. So we're looking at Macaluso again, but this time he can't fend him off. Cannot fend him off. Cards all over the place. 2, 4, 5 for Pettis. So the 2 is good. The 5 is Galgano. And the 4 brake pedals will get Pettis back into the middle group. All right. Pepper Stockton. 1, 2, 4. So 2 and 4 is Royal. So Royal's stay in the middle group was short-lived. Burl Exum gets a 3, 6, 5. So we're looking at Bergeron. That is going to work. So Exum jumps ahead. In his Lincoln, the number 1 Lincoln. And Lonnie Lane, Sr. 4 is good. 3 and 5. Porter Lily. Lily has no brake pedals. So Lonnie Lane is going to bump into the 13th spot. Lily, the pole sitter, falls to 22nd. And now we have Kenny Worthington trying to get back in the middle group. 4 is good. 3 and 1. So looking at Lonnie Lane, but 1 brake pedal. He's got it. That holds him off. That is turn 25 in the books. 5 turns left in the race. We're getting to the nitty-gritty now. And we get a 5 and a 6 this time. And a 6 is again a problem in the middle group, or bottom group rather. So we'll roll to see what that is. 55. 55 in the bottom group is driver number 17. So we've got 6, 12, Steve Lewis. And he gets a 41, which is battery charge, drop to front of group. So he can't. So he goes to the back of the group. Move that there, move that there, put him there. All right. And now that is 26. Final pit stop turn. So our dice here, and we get a 2, which again is the top group and leader, and a 10. So when you roll doubles, a pit rules violation has been committed by the driver in the drivers in these groups, 5s. So these 3 right here. In the group eligible for fast pit only. So the fast pit group is this group. So it's just this guy who's rolling for the pit violation. So Hal Thomas gets a pit violation. He's going to go to the bottom here. And everybody else moves up. Okay, now we have to check to see fast pit here. So Eccles is a 6. He gets a 5, so that's good. Briscoe's an 8. He gets a 3. Good. Burl Exum is a 9, so he fails it. Hartzell is a 4, he fails it. Stoffel is an 8, so he gets it. And Sell and Springer already have 1. Okay. I'm not sure if they can have multiple performance chips, so I'm going to hold off and assume they cannot. So that is the end of that, and now we would roll out our black die, and Gordon Sell has the opportunity to take on Springer. So we roll. and he gets a 4. But again, so they have the same, they both have a chip, and it's a 4, so they keep their positions and keep the chips. Okay, so now we move on to turn 28. We get a 4, which is middle group, and a 9, which is reflex. So we're looking at reflex. So Kenny Worthington has a restart reflex. 1, 4, 3. So 4 is Burl Exum, and 3 break. That's he's got it. Then we roll for Exum. Wait, how do I have 2 Exums in here? Oh boy. Well, let me see if I have somebody with a trophy in here that I can just stick in there. Since I screwed that up because he has 2 car cards. And I thought I pulled them out, and apparently I did not. Guys, Dwight Trainer. Put Dwight Trainer in there. All right, sorry about that. That was obviously a mistake. So we'll roll for Exum here. No. 5 is no. So we move on to Stoffel. 3, 4, 2. He's got 2 brake pedals plus a bonus, so that fails. Ross Pettis. 4, 2, 5. 2, 5. Even. So he's going to spend his chip. And Gundy. 2, 2, 6. He'll spend his chip. And Gundy can try again. And this time he rolls a 6, so that does not work. Forsberg. 1, 4, 2. And that does not work. Albee. Nope. And that's it. That is the end of 28. We go to 29. And we get a 5, 5. So smart. And 5 is the bottom group. So we'll start with Thomas. And he gets a 2, 6, 1. So we're looking at trainer, and that works. Now we go to Steve Lewis. 5, so no. We go to Branch Montana. 1, 5, 5. So Stoffel and Montana swap out. And we go to Peachy. 5, which he has. 6 and 1. So we're looking at Hal Thomas, but Hal Thomas does have a 1. Macaluso is smart with a star. So he's got 1, 4, 1. So that would be Rentschler, so that's going to work. And Galgano. 4, 2, 3. 4, 2, 3. So yep, that works. Then Hodnett. 5, so that's a no. Daly. 2, 5, 2. That's Pettis. He does have 2 brake pedals, so no. Whiteman. Oh, he rolled a 4 on that, so that's still no for Whiteman. And go to Lily. 5, 3, 5. So that's Forsberg. And so Lily gets up to 13th, gets out of that bottom group. And 1, 5, 1 for Swain. So 5 and 1, Montana. Montana fends him off. So that is the end of the next to last turn. We are in our final turn. We are about to decide our race winner, which looks like it might be Rowley Springer here. And we get a 1, which is top group, and a 6, which is problem. So now we roll here for top group. We roll red and white. And we get a 53, and a 53 in the top group. Okay, red die. So the red die is a 5, so it is Eldon Briscoe. Now, he cannot use that to avoid a problem. He could use it to avoid trouble. But he can't use his chip, so let's roll to see what the problem is. He gets a 61. Engine running hot, roll for repair. Okay, so his crew is a D. We're in the final third, and he's out. So he's out. He goes out. That was tough luck for him. Eccles moves up. Now, you're supposed to, I haven't been doing this because I forgot, but you roll against the gas pedal rating to find one that's lower or equal, and that guy gets to move up to the new group, and then everybody else fills in. And again, I haven't been doing it. I also didn't give a performance tip for the couple of duels we had earlier, which was also wrong. Swain moves up, and then we do the same down here. It's not Forsberg, it's not Burr, it's Whiteman. Whiteman moves up, not a big deal. And that ends the race, actually. On the final turn only, disregard results for the bottom group on the race cam die roll if a 5 is rolled. If the terrible... Okay, so we did have a problem, but it did not cause a yellow flag, so the race ends, and Rowley Springer is the winner of the first race of the season. So our winner is Rowley Springer, driving the 41 car. And finishing second, Godfrey Sell. Finishing third, Tommy Stoffel. Fourth, Ross Hartzell. Fifth, Kenny Worthington. Sixth, Jerry Eccles. Seventh, Pepper Stockton. Eighth, Ferris Dixon. 9, Larry Hilburn. And 10th, Ernie Galgano. All right, that's going to do it. I'm just going to wrap it up here because this has gotten pretty long. We'll see how the reception is for this video, and I'll determine if I want to continue to do it. I'll probably do at least 1 more, maybe 2 more. And I may even just make them private and post the links on my website for those who do want to follow along. Because if I get, if it's not getting viewership, I don't know that I necessarily want the notifications to go out to subscribers. But we'll see about that. So for now, that's going to do it. Thank you for watching, as always. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to post them up, and I will answer or reply. If you would consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing, that would be appreciated, as always. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for your support. This has been Hexed Encountered. My name's Joe, and until next time, happy gaming.